He-Man is characterized by his immense strength.
That's right. That's how we started all this.
Obviously, so he is characterized by this. So
I thought he was characterized by that pose he does with the sword,
or maybe characterized by I don't know, conversations that he has and stuff. But no.
Oh, yeah, he's not.
He's not. It's just literally his only
trait.
Character trait is the fact that he is inhumanly strong. I love a lot of this stuff. I have to say, it's just frankly awesome. What was that? I just saw lungs. No. Oh wait, yeah. Okay, so
that's one of the sections on the Wikipedia.
We have a bullet point summary here,
and then there's a whole paragraph about He-Man's lungs.
We have a bullet point summary here. He-Man being able to blow using the full capability of his lungs, a gust of wind powerful enough to knock over most opponents, similar to Superman's super breath. I love how everything that Superman does is super. It's like it's scaled up to the max. It's like 11.
But that makes sense at least, because to be fair, super is just the prefix for more.
Super
but
thing.
It makes more sense than bat everything.
Well, does that just not mean that you're
trousers.
always going to be beaten by Hyperman? He's going to always, Hyperman wins.
My one weakness.
Hyper.
Hyper is more than super, right?
Well, I'm thinking in my head, I don't know.
It must be.
Well, there's a lot of mathsy stuff.
Do they
that has
overlap?
hyper.
Is it a perfect linear...
Well, I don't know, because there is the Super
infrared.
Bowl, and do you reckon, hyperbole is just the next level? I'm sure people have used this before.
Hyperbole is the one above the Super Bowl. You get Super Bowl and then hyperbole.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just pronounced differently.
Yeah, and it's also spelled differently, but whatever.
Well, yeah, but no one reads, it doesn't matter.
No, absolutely. Or the hyperbole is something that you would want to put a gigantic quantity of porridge in.
Right, here's the thing. You know, soccer...
is like Frogger, but with socks. Sorry.
Here's the thing. People are always making the joke of football is called... It involves...
It's coming home.
Stop it.
It never is going to
Please
come
stop.
home. It's like 1966.
I can't do this. I can't follow through with this.
People always make this joke, guys. Like, football's coming home. It's... Okay, no, I'm not going to do that because I'm just going to...
Stop.
Yeah.
Please.
Go off, Mum.
Okay, no, people are always making the joke. Football. Okay, I forget what comedian. Football involves feet and balls. It makes sense. Shut up.
Sorry, that's terrible that I laughed at balls.
It makes perfect sense, right?
Yeah.
You kick a
football.
You're right. Okay, and it's called football everywhere. I can't remember the other country translations.
Which sport are we getting here then? To make
football. It's a logical name for sport involving feet.
I am on tenterhooks waiting for the next sport.
Tenterhooks. It's actually tenterhooks.
Is it tenterhooks?
I promise you. They're a butcher's
hooks
implement.
are not tender. I have really
exactly.
found this. Yeah.
It's a common misconception. They're tenterhooks, and I think it's a butchering implement in order to stretch. Or maybe it's not butchering. Maybe it's a cloth stretching.
Is it?
Look, there's some kind of implement in industry. And it's tenterhooks, I promise you.
Okay, carry on,
If you look
please.
up tenterhooks versus tenderhooks, it will explain the whole thing, I'm sure. The point is, American football, some comedian said it should be called hand egg. Because they're not using their feet for most of it. They kick things sometimes, and that is not a ball.
Yeah, but
it will not roll in a normal What?
It's not an egg either.
It's egg-shaped.
It's egg-shaped, so...
It's alright, hand-elliptoid or whatever. You know, that sounds daft.
Chuck a vague egg-shaped object around a park.
The point is, it makes no sense to call American football, and that's why we have to call it American football to distinguish it.
They do kick it, though.
Occasionally.
Yeah.
But that's like saying golf should be called pick up the ball out of the water.
Yeah, but
that's what they do sometimes. Why is it called golf? I have no idea, but the point is that football is logically named. You may as well call it corner flags. It's like, okay, yes, there are flags in the corners of a football field, but the salient point is that you're kicking a ball. So football is a more sensible name.
Yeah, I mean, golf would be
I have no idea what golf is about. I have no idea what golf is about.
It sounds like
maybe
half
it's just
a gopher.
the name of the
it
guy
sounds
who
like someone
invented
chopped
it.
gopher, the word, in half.
Golf.
It's just
and
golf.
then they stuck an L in there for no reason.
Yeah.
I saw a cartoon once which involved a gopher devouring a golf course that I think Mickey Mouse
was the pun used
trying to play on. No, but I feel like it should have been.
Definitely, there was a missing pun.
Yeah,
unless they probably already scanned over then. We're thinking there's some sort of holy grail of awesomeness, and yet
and it is a pun.
Just absolutely rubbish.
Holy grail of humour is a pun. The point I was trying to make is that soccer, which has no bearing on anything,
on socks. Yeah.
People wear socks, but they wear them for American football too, so it doesn't make sense. People wear socks. I'm wearing socks now. I'm not playing any sort of sport at all.
I think you're a big thing though, on the etymology of words being where it sort of plugs in. How.
Here's where it is for me. It's backwards. Soccer sounds like the kind of daft thing that the British would call something.
Yeah, definitely.
Like the Cockneys would come up with,
soccer come from English, from the English sort of. Although American people call it soccer.
Maybe that's it. It's just been co-opted.
I think
to
it was
name
originally soccer, was it not?
a European thing. Was it not? It might well be. It would
Was
make more
it
sense.
not?
Basically, what I have in my head is that image of Hugh Laurie and the green text. You know, my face when Americans call Rooty Tooty Points and Shooties guns, and you know.
I love all of that.
What are they?
Fantastically, like
A beef Wellington ensemble with lettuce,
Yeah,
a hamburger,
I love it.
motorized rolling hams, cars, etc. So soccer, like it sounds like the daft kind of name that we would call something as simple and pure and American as football. But in this case, I'm sorry, it's everyone else
it's
who's
true.
got it right. Americans are not playing football; they're playing a game of their own devising, which should be called something else.
But,
Why do they have to copy the name? It's a different sport. It's its own beautiful, giant, shoulder-padded beast, and it has a lot more in common with rugby than it does with football. It makes no sense whatsoever. Bison just charging. Biceps.
We should, Bison's a good. We should just call it Bison.
I like it.
Mike Bison.
Mike Bison is the best Bison player of all
I'm thinking
time.
that's definitely there's room there for some character design.
just a huge ox.
Yeah, that's a meme. I don't know.
A bison, buffalo, wildebeest, oxen. Are these all different but related animals? Are they even related? Or are they just similar? Are they all different?
I don't know. Bison, oxen. There's an there, isn't there? There's definitely an.
They share some letters. Anyway, I'm sorry. You were going to say something about the Super Bowl.
A playoffs game, because there's the AFL and the NFL.
What are they?
So there's the American Football League and the National Football League.
Which nation is the National Football League set in? You know what they should do? You know those Mexican jumping beans?
They should.
Are you familiar with Mexican jumping beans?
Yeah, should they make like a big one?
That's what an American football is, right? Or a rugby ball. I mean, they're the same object. They're the same object. So American footballs have stitches. What is that
Do you reckon
about?
they should call it beanball then?
I insist that they put an enormous ball bearing inside it, and as it rolls from one end to the other, it completely messes up the physics of this thing.
Yeah, but
so
have you
they're
ever
trying to
seen
kick
like
it.
any of these balls land on the ground? Anyway?
Yeah, they're
like,
weird
they
enough
go
as
everywhere.
is.
Yeah,
But stick a ball bearing in there, or fill it with springs or something. You can make that thing go nuts.
I love changing sports in that way, though. I mean, like
I insist sports are not interesting
snooker
enough.
would be epic if, let's just say, right, the audience, there's no barrier. They can walk past you. It's like actually how you know how to play
Oh my
pool in a
God.
bar.
Yes, and half of it is trying to not hit people and not piss off the drunk
Absolutely,
guy and knock his
yeah.
drink over.
Absolutely, you've got the whole like, oh, sorry, dear me. None of this sort of drinking water and like wiping perspiration from your brow. No, we're gonna we're gonna do this properly.
There's people throwing up on the corners of the table. You're trying to, yeah, exactly. That's how a real man plays pool.
Absolutely, with vomit.
You've lost the cue, so you're using your shoe. And
oh wow, that's or maybe like you've lost the balls and you're just using shoes for balls. You've got like there's so much friction involved there. I love it. It's just it's got like a table full of shoes.
Pocketing a shoe would be an incredible,
truly
incredible
scrumptious.
achievement.
Absolutely.